NASA and SPACEX, secret and public space programs. Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, coming to you live from the Gulf Coast of Florida, simulcasting over Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. So we hope that wherever you are, you're able to take advantage of this broadcast as I try to get my camera set the way I want to get it set. That's going to have to do. If you're on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, you're not going to be able to see the videos or participate in the chat. We welcome you to come over to Jeffrey Daugherty Show on YouTube, Christian Whistleblower on YouTube, and be a full participant in the broadcast. I'm talking today about SPACEX. I'm talking today about NASA. I'm talking today about the purported secret space programs. And let's just share something with you real quickly. I think it's kind of dandy. And we're talking about why this? Why occupy Mars? Now, I thought this was a NASA t-shirt because I found it in the NASA gift shop. I added the question mark, but there's a t-shirt there that says Occupy Mars. Turns out it's actually a SpaceX t-shirt, but that's neither here nor there, as we will see. And let me just show you a little something to give you an idea exactly what I'm talking about and to set the stage for our discussion here today. Little short video I took while I was at NASA. So I want you to see it real quickly and see what I'm talking about. So here we go. Just a little tiny short video. There's that t-shirt I'm talking about. And that's it. And I found myself asking why. Why would they have a shirt there that says Occupy Mars? It's bizarre. It doesn't make any sense to me as I look and as I study and as I try to figure out what they're doing. And the reason it doesn't make any sense to me is because if we look up the word occupy in the sense that they are using it, it obviously means to take control of a place, especially a country, by military conquest or settlement. Example, the region was occupied by Britain during World War I. Synonyms: capture, seize, take possession of, conquer, enter, or take control of illegally and often forcibly, especially as a form of protest from the modern Occupy movement. So my question is, why isn't my cursor working is my immediate question right now. But my question is, come on, man. Come on, man. Why would NASA, why would SpaceX be talking about occupying Mars? Now, before you assume that SpaceX is nefarious and SpaceX is dangerous and SpaceX is bad, let me share something with you that I learned at NASA. And again, it makes a bit of difference when you actually go to the source and do your research instead of just make assumptions in videos and cast aspersions on people that have gone there, have done that when you have not. So, you know, you get the trolls that want to talk about everything and they've not done anything and they haven't been anywhere, and they want to cast aspersions on those of us that have. But at any rate, SpaceX, nothing nefarious about it, nothing dangerous about it. Basically, it was costing NASA about $80 million. That's right, $80 million to send an astronaut to the space station. Might have been 18. I'm pretty sure it was 80. But it cost NASA $80 million to send an astronaut to the International Space Station. And they were using Russia to do it. Russia was taking the American astronauts to the International Space Station, and they were charging $80 million, 81 actually. So along comes Elon Musk. And he says, you know what? You're paying $80 million to take an astronaut, one astronaut, to the International Space Station. I'll take 4 for $81 million. So Elon Musk was just a classic entrepreneur saying, look, I think that I could eke out a way to get astronauts up there for $21 million instead of $81 million. So I'll go to NASA, make them an offer they can't refuse. And by the way, we'll build our own launch pads and stuff. We'll start from the old ones you're not using. We'll build our own launch pads. So NASA's saying, he just reduced our cost by 75%. Bible college math, that might be wrong, but it's a big reduction. Why won't we let him do it? Got to make sure he's safe. Got to make sure his stuff works. But they've, of course, done that. And now SpaceX is taking 4 astronauts for the price of 1. So nothing nefarious about SpaceX, nothing mysterious about SpaceX. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur, and he's making some money, and he's saving NASA some money. And now NASA calls him a private partner, private industry partner. But I still wonder about the shirt. I still wonder about the shirt. The shirt still says Occupy Mars. And look at this shirt. It's written in a military font. It's distressed to give it a more military look. There's a picture of Mars, and they're saying Occupy Mars. It's clearly supposed to invoke hidden, repressed, unconscious, subconscious images of military conquest. Hello. So why are they talking about, as you look at some bird footprints on Clearwater Beach, why are they talking about occupying Mars? What's the rationale between occupying Mars? Makes me wonder. Occupy. So I began to think about occupying. Why would you want to occupy a place? Well, you might occupy a place because there's hostile people there that are trying to hurt you. And you know that NASA has a special interest in Mars. They're sending many missions to Mars. I think we've got a we got a rover or something up there right now. It does seem like a war mentality. We've got a rover up there, and it's rolling around, and I believe it's really there. I do. And I believe it's really looking at stuff. And if you look at it, and I'm reading a great book right now, we're going to do a show or two about when I finish. You know, the things that they're showing us from Mars, you know, they're rocks and dirt and stuff like that. On their way to these very uninteresting rocks and dirt, they're passing things. They're like, whoa, what was that? Oh, what was that? Weird stuff, man. Stuff that looks like it might be left over from a civilization. So again, we're talking about the public space program. SpaceX is ferrying people to the International Space Station at 1/4 of the price that Russia was charging them. That's the public space program. It's really happening. It's true, folks. SpaceX is helping NASA get to Mars. They are looking at rocks. They are looking at dirt. And the places where they're landing is filled with all of this. Whoa, what was that? Whoa, what was that? Whoa, what was that stuff? So I think they know, but they're not telling that they're looking for something else. And we're going to show you some very compelling evidence of past civilizations on Mars, artifacts of past civilizations on Mars. And I mean, Mars is a big place, and they're only investigating a small part of it. So the reason that they went to those places seems to be fairly obvious. They know that there's stuff there, but they're just not telling us about it. Thus, the secret part of the space program and this whole idea of Occupy Mars has got to be, in my opinion, an attempt to prepare the population mentally, hello in Russia, to prepare the population intellectually for the possibility of having to take military action on Mars. Now, Mars, for all it looks like it's dead, it looks like it's empty right now. If there are beings there, then they're likely far underground and do not seem to pose a threat to us. But I started thinking about when I was in the U.S. Air Force, and I started thinking about when I was a C-130 crew chief. And the best thing about a C-130 is it can land anywhere. And the worst thing about a C-130 is it can land anywhere. So we went a lot of weird places, man. And a lot of these places were what you would call FOBs or FOAs, forward operating areas, forward operating bases. And I began to think about, what is NASA really interested in? They're really interested in Mars, and they're really interested in the moon. And I started to think, if I was going to do something to the Earth, I would need some forward operating areas. I would need some forward operating bases. And if I was looking for an FOA or an FOB to launch an assault on Earth, the moon, Mars, those would make perfect forward operating areas. Those would make perfect forward operating bases. So is there a reason why NASA is so interested in the moon? Is there a reason why NASA is so interested in Mars? Yes, I know they're the closest, and it makes the most sense. But there might be something else. Jack Daniels says Mars with a big old bicep. Boop. Okay. Mars does have a relation to war. That's true, Mac. So when we think about the space program, we have to remember that simultaneously, whether it's NASA, whether it's SpaceX, or whether it's NASA SpaceX, there is a public space program that is true, that is real, that is legitimate, i.e., ferrying astronauts to the International Space Station. And yeah, I happen to believe that SpaceX blasted a Tesla Roadster up into space. I happen to believe that. I don't happen to believe that there's a dead guy on it. Those are the public, that is the public face of NASA. That is the public face of SpaceX. That is the public space program. Behind that is the secret space program. The things that SpaceX and NASA are doing that they're not going to tell us about. Going to, hello, Diane, going to Mars and looking at dirt and rocks, public space program. Going to Mars and looking at what looks like to be archaeological evidence of possible past civilizations. They're not going to tell us about that. They're going to zoom past it in their little dune buggy while we say, ooh, what was that? Ooh, what was that? But your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower is going to do a show probably today talking about public and secret Mars and showing you some very compelling evidence, photographic evidence of possible past civilizations on Mars. And I think NASA knows about it because it's NASA's pictures that this is taken from. NASA's just not talking about it. So NASA is real. NASA is true. NASA really is involved in true space missions and exploration. So is SpaceX. SpaceX was born by an entrepreneur. All right. Good to see you. SpaceX was born by an entrepreneur that saw a way to make some money, and he's doing it. And yet they have formed a partnership that has public aspects and secret aspects. I think the secret space program is essentially run by NASA. It's just run in secret. Ladies and gentlemen, going to the source, live from the source, made a big difference in my understanding, help facilitate my understanding, help facilitate some of my ideas, and helps give me, I think, a better idea of what's really going on and not just making things up and not just using conjecture. And again, I salute everybody that's trying to do this work, kind of do this work and from where they can, because not everybody has the ability to go to NASA and go to Coral Castle and go to the Georgia Guidestones and go to the Acropolis and go to the Crystal Mines. And boy, you won't believe where we're going here in the next few days. Not everybody has the opportunity to do that. Not everybody has the ability to go live from the source, but I do. Been to NASA, been to SpaceX, and I'm bringing you information about the public and secret space programs maintained by these two entities. And the way that we're able to do it is by you great people. I go to my website, jeffreydarty.com, and many of you will just donate to me. You just donate right here through PayPal. Many of you are doing it monthly. Many of you are making very kind donations, and I really appreciate those of you that are doing it. And I also want you to know that I'm here to help you in practical ways, not just in spiritual ways. So that's where Mystech comes in. You just click on the Mystech logo. You can find out about these tremendous bands. Watch the show I did yesterday with Halo. It'll blow your mind. Decide which bands you want by choosing here. Decide which one you want, but you must go back here if you want to get the 20% discount. If you're buying a Mystech band and you don't see this screen, then you're not getting a 20% discount and you're not helping out your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower. I would love to go on the Howard Stern show. I haven't been on Howard Stern's show. I've been on Coast to Coast AM. That's the largest show I've been on. Been on there 7 times. Would love to be on the Howard Stern show. I think I'd be a great guest for Howard Stern and for Bill Mayer. So we would love to be on those shows. But help me help you. You know, and this is TM asking, is one band enough or do I need more? Well, it brings up a conundrum because like Halo said, we'd love to say, oh, get as many as you can wear, because I wear 8, he wears several. But the fact of the matter is, Halo said, if you're 20, 25 years old, one is plenty for you. Maybe if you're 55, like I will be this year, you wear a few extra ones, and depending on what you want to do, but you can't wear too many, and they do give you great energization, if that's the word, energization. Tell me who that was, but they give you some great energy. They change your life. They change mine, and they're helping me help you and take you to these places that you can't go. I'll be 55 this year, answering a question over on Twitter. I'll be back today with some more, at least 3 more episodes of Broadcast Excellence. So to those of you on Facebook or those of you on Twitter, I salute you. You are the Gospel Truth Army. I encourage you to keep being your own guru, guiding your own spirit, mastering your own ascension. Keep asking questions, keep questioning answers, and unindoctrinate yourself.